curry. Well, turmeric. Oh my goodness. It's like almost impossible to get off, but you, me, us, we. 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 There's a war going on outside. You, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. There's a war going on outside. We gotta see. I say, you, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. Fuck. No, we good, right? We good. You, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. There's a war going on outside. You, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. There's a war going on outside. We gotta see it. Yo, you, me, us, we. How's it gonna turn on out? You, me, us, we. There's a war going on outside. You, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. Unpopular war right now. You, me, crimes. You, me, us, we. 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 T. Carey Wright is in the house tonight. I said you, me, us, we. My brother, time is not a mine. That's you, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. You, me, us, we. You know what? This is a situation that you have to feel whether you want to feel it or not. When your country is at war, you can't really ignore it like it's inconsequential or act like it's something that, doesn't matter to you, or try to write it off as some kind of social construct or some kind of problem that these people over here have to deal with, and it doesn't affect you. When your country is at war, then there's imminent danger for you, no matter whether you agree with the war, whether you participate with the war, or whether you, or should I say, participate in the war, or whether you are totally opposed to it. It's not something you can just turn away from, and it's not something that you can turn away from successfully and think that it's not going to affect you. Each and every one of us has a family member, a child, a brother, possibly a sister, maybe even parents who are career military people who are involved in this thing or are potentially involved, maybe even a spouse that may be in the reserves that may be being called up in a little while. Because originally they said there weren't going to be any ground troops. And now they're saying like, we may actually have to exercise our rights to the draft. So this is not a small thing. And at the same time, you have the confusion of some people saying that it's not even a war. This is not a war. It's not a war. It's just a military action. There's just some military strikes going on, and you don't have to worry about a thing. It's already over. You know, we're bombing the hell out of them. We're killing them. You know, if you listen to Trump, man, I swear, Trump will have you thinking you hit the lottery already. You just haven't cashed your ticket in. Yo, my girl, Carla. Trump will have you thinking and feeling like you already won the lottery. You just haven't cashed your ticket in yet. And I mean that in a literal sense. He will have you believe in that. And you have to look at it from a historical standpoint. Remember when COVID was going on? He played that shit down like it was over, like only a few people had it. Nobody was really dying from it. It was going to be over by the springtime, summertime. We're rounding the turn. He literally said that. That's a quote. We're rounding the turn, rounding the turn, rounding the turn. Meanwhile, the body count was mounting. It was adding up and it was adding up. And they told you that it was fake news whenever you saw news reports of the number of people who had died from the disease. And because you didn't really want to believe that he was lying or that it wasn't true or that the fake news was actually correct. And there were some, wait a minute. I'm not going to allow him to have me calling network news that says things contrary to what he says fake news. I'm not doing that. But he did do that. He has successfully turned people against the media and has you believing that the network news doesn't know what they're talking about whenever they are saying something contrary to what he says. And we know he doesn't think a lot about what he says before he says it. So you have to keep that in mind. But anyway, we are learning a lot about how popularity wins. How popularity wins and how a cult of personality can dominate and engulf the mind state of a whole nation. So that's where we are. Nonetheless, we are at war. Trump even said that we're at war. More people are going to be killed because that's how war is. We're at war. What's the Department of Defense called now? The Department of what? What's the Department of Defense called what? Department of War. Department of War. There's a war going on outside. Nobody's safe from. I don't feel safe. As a matter of fact, I cover my face and I have to make sure that I cover my head because one shot from a bullet and there will be, we can't say that. We got to say, unalive. And that's crazy. I survived through the things in my life, but I ain't trying to go through this thing. It's like real trife. And we all gotta go through it together, whether we like it or not. Yo, the situation is hot. And yeah, man, woman, child is getting crazy wild. And you know, the reason why I call this show more unpopular than the Vietnam War is because, you know, Vietnam introduced us to death and destruction on TV. It introduced us to it. And that's why the Vietnam War was so unpopular. They weren't doing any different killing in Vietnam than they had been doing in any other war. But in no other war before Vietnam did you have to actually see it. You couldn't sit in your living room and actually get live news reports and video of what was happening over there. So it made the military look bad, but they weren't doing anything different than what had ever been done in any wars before it, like Korea, like World War II, World War I, any other wars. War is hell. They don't say that for no reason. But Vietnam got all of the bad press, and all of the wars after Vietnam have gotten the bad press. But the wars since Vietnam have had the advantage of being over kind of fast. So you didn't get that long stretch of video showing all of that death and destruction of humanity and the inhumanity of what war brings. So that's what we're talking about tonight, y'all. So that's how it's going down on the Daily Go Get 'Emism show. I'm sorry that we're not starting off the week on a positive note. And, you know, we probably won't have a lot of opportunities to laugh, but we have to learn. So I figure if we get this out of the way during the beginning of the week, then hopefully we can put these things in perspective and get to the fun stuff, the good stuff, the funny stuff, So I'm going to put my drums away. And then we can have this conversation. And we can have this conversation. What are we talking about? We're talking about a more unpopular war than Vietnam. Now, none of us are probably old enough to really remember Vietnam, but we kind of are. My 60s babies, my 70s babies, the war was going on then, but we were kids. You know, we didn't pull out of Vietnam all the way until like 1975. So I was at least 4 or 5 years old when we finally got on up out of there. And I've known a lot of Vietnam vets, and they are interesting. They were an interesting bunch of soldiers, of military personnel. And I have to say military personnel because airmen and the Navy, the sailors don't consider themselves to be soldiers. And I'm like, respectfully, anybody who fights in war is a soldier to me. Y'all can break it down by branch whenever and however y'all like to do. But yeah, when it all comes down to it, when it all boils down to it, you're soldiers. Boots on the ground. Let's see. David McDonald says, what nonsense. And that shows you the popularity of Trump. That's the popularity of Trump right there in a nutshell. You know, people who are serious Trump supporters do not like to hear anything that goes against Trump. And that lets you know the seriousness of what we're going through here. I mean, when you have regular people running around here talking about you have Trump derangement syndrome because you don't agree or you speak of a truth that he's not telling himself. These are amazing times that we're living in. And we've never seen anything like this before. But I'm not here to talk about him. I'm here to talk about this condition. Because like it or lump it, whether you agree with it or not, whether you want to be here or not, we are at war. So how does it feel? How does it feel to be in a situation where you have to face and confront the fact that our military is going over into the Middle East, where we were told we would not have to go again, or that we would not have to deal with, and we're fighting, but there aren't boots on the ground, which is how they're trying to spin it like we're not at war. But is it over though? There's so much going on with this. Which one of y'all are really up on this shit? I'm so pissed off. I had stopped fucking with turmeric because of this shit. Look, do y'all see this shit? Damn it. It's like impossible to get off your fucking hands. Sheesh. Yeah, mad. Got a right to be mad. This stuff stays with you like, man. Anyway, all right, look, I'm gonna go get my seat over here. Here, seat. And let's go ahead and bust it out. Let's have this talk. More unpopular war than Vietnam. Could it be true? Is it an actual fact? Am I just up here capping? Am I just up here for clicks and likes and engagement? Let's talk about it. Be about it. Yo, Joe Fashion says turmeric sucks. It sucks. It does. Like, I mean, this shit be everywhere. It's like, remember how you used to like to play with glue? Well, you as a kid in art class, you messing around with Elmer's glue because you could peel it off your hands and shit like that. But sometimes it stayed with you a lot longer than you wanted to stay with you. That's how turmeric is, but it's worse. This shit is worse. I'm looking over here looking like I got jaundice. Man. Let me see. Tom says, son, if I voted, I have an opinion on what the president do, the government do, and these no good politicians who are truly about themselves. It's more than them being about themselves. I wouldn't even mind so much if they were just concentrating on the money that they're getting. Because I expect greed in politics. I anywhere there's money, I expect greed. I expect lies. I expect deception. But when you start a war, especially one of this magnitude, and given the circumstances that went into starting this war, now we have a whole different situation, and we have a whole different conversation that we have to have. This is like a train wreck. This is like a train wreck where you think somebody that you know is on that train. You cannot stop looking at this thing. And you are not going to walk away from this train wreck until you find out whether your peoples are okay or not. So as you're frantically making phone calls and trying to see if they will pick up, and they're not picking up, and maybe the phone is going straight to voicemail, now you're worried. That's literally the situation that we are faced with right now. That's literally the situation. Shout out to any and all of you who have family or friends or loved ones that are in the reserves, because you know they're about to get called up. And you know how you feel every time your family gets called up for a tour of duty or for drills or whatever. You be looking like, the benefits of being in the military are great, and but I don't really want my people to have to go and face that shit and deal with that shit and get into that shit. Because when you're talking about any military action, you're talking about danger. You're talking about weapons. You're talking about, the fear of losing your life. It's literally in the training that they give to each other. That's literally what you go to basic training for, to learn how to kill and to learn how to keep from getting killed, but to accept that you may get killed. Literally in the training. Literally. Imagine getting good at that training. All right. Um, Thanks, Carl. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I went for the light green today. The light green, not pastel, but the light green. The light green. Okay. And Tom says, son, I know my pops used to always say, if you take care of your business, you got all of your I's dotted and cross all of your T's. You can have all the fun you want. But right now, I'm teaching you a lesson. He says it's crazy how how old his men felt back. How old his men felt back then. How do you spell unappreciated? And it was fighting in the war that they didn't even know what day it was or what they was fighting for. Word. He also says zip eagles up, zip up sweaters. I just went through my old clothes. Those sweaters were off the chain. Carl says my granddaughter just finished boot camp, and I pray she don't have to leave the country. I understand how you feel. I understand. I totally understand how you feel. I mean, this shit is crazy. This shit is bad through and through. It really is. It's bad through and through. I don't feel like any of us are going to win in this situation. You know, I mean, and the incompetence, and insensitivity of this administration is crazy. Now, it was bad when Trump was literally talking about, he was literally telling you that the money that you had more money than you had, that things that cost what it cost in the stores that you were buying weren't as much as you saw that you were spending. This motherfucker is doing Jedi mind tricks on y'all. And I say on y'all because I ain't going for none of that shit. I know how much I pay for gas, and I know how much I pay for food. And I know that even though I make decent money, I have to budget all crazy as if I'm not making what I make. But this motherfucker who obviously has never been inside of a supermarket and had to literally just buy food. You can tell that food has always been bought for him. He has not had to go inside the store and buy shit. He's always had a driver. He doesn't drive. And I'm like, and this is the motherfucker y'all. This is who y'all accept as y'all leader, your commander in chief. The man who tells you, don't listen to that stuff about me and the Epstein files. You should only be talking about the good that I'm doing for this country. That's straight propaganda. Do you know what the country would have said if Joe Biden would have told you not to talk about the economy, only talk about, because he was breaking records in the stock market too at the time, during the time that he was president. If he would have said only focus on how good the country is doing in the eyes of other people. Well, y'all already thought he was senile. They would have 25th Amendment that motherfucker up out of office. Let's see. So this is about politics? Yeah, it's about politics. How can you talk about a war and not talk about politics? You know something I don't know? I'm sure you do. But put me on. Show me how I can talk about war without talking about politics, because you and I, as citizens, cannot start a war. We can war with each other, but is that really a war? But show me how you and I, as citizens, even if it was a million of us, show me how we could start a war with a foreign country. Do we have access to planes, missiles, bombs, high artillery, high power weapons, automatic weapons? Show me. So yes, we're talking about politics as well, in addition to. But the title of this show is called a more unpopular war than Vietnam. So this is also an opinion piece. I think that this is the most unpopular war we've ever known. I think this is the most unpopular war on earth historically. Yeah, of course, I can't prove that. I can't prove that. We didn't have the internet during other wars. So we weren't able to communicate on that level to whereas we could poll, use polling and know the opinions in real time of people from around the world. So we don't know. But I would say that historically, to our knowledge, with evidence that we can prove, I would say that this is probably the most unpopular war. I think this war is more unpopular than the Vietnam. I'm sorry, the Israeli, the fucking Israelis, man. The Israeli-Palestinian war, or should I say the Israeli, genocide on Palestine. Free Palestine, please. Free Palestine. I made this shit. This is not good. This is a straight health drink. I wouldn't suggest this. I wouldn't wish this drink on my worst enemy. I always say that I don't drink anything that doesn't taste good. Well, I am today. I am tonight. This is quite disgusting. Turmeric, chlorella, lime, and echinacea. That's all that's in here. And this damn turmeric is not even, like, I didn't know this shit was waterproof. Literally. If I spill any of this shit, I'm gonna have to throw the shirt away. I gotta be careful. But anyway, yeah. I would say that this is the most unpopular, more than Russia and Ukraine. Because this one is over Israel. When I heard that soldier, I don't know how much y'all are up on political news, and did y'all see the senator, of the Navy sailor senator? What state was he from? Anyway, the one who got his arm broken last week when he was, openly speaking out against the war. And I really felt him when he was saying, no one wants to go to war for Israel. No one wants to go to war for Israel. Like, I felt that in the pit of my stomach. Like, that's literally what we're talking about. Nobody wants to go to war for Israel. Nobody wants to fight for Israel. Israel probably is the most unpopular country in the world right now, next to the United States. I think the U.S. is up there now. I believe so. Since Trump. Now, y'all can battle me over that. But I think that Israel has to be the most hated country in the world. If not Israel, let me know who y'all think. God's chosen people. Only they say that. Until God tells me that, I'm not believing it. Please, y'all, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Hit that like button, please, 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 please. I appreciate it. It helps the channel, and the channel needs help. It helps the channel. Yeah, it's in the Bible. The real Israel is not in the Bible. But that's a whole nother story for another day. That all I have to do is read the Bible. Go ahead. You read on. You read on. Carla says, "Well, I really mean to say he lies with the twisted face, man. Good symbol, the pretzel, so cool." Tom said, "Yes, it is, son. The most unpopular war, Palestine. Word, turmeric keeps your hands ugly like the curry powder. But I tell you, what the best thing you can drink and even put on your food. Yeah, I mean, I don't even deny that. Yes, I seen that military man, and they had to put a muzzle and grab him when he went up to Congress and was talking. Yes, I see. Yeah, man, when he broke his arm, I was like, damn. I was like, damn, dude, if you wouldn't have put your arm around the door and then the door closed and they was pulling him, you heard that shit. I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. All right. And if you didn't feel that when that man saying how Congress was treating that military Navy man, you just hit you just living day by day. Carlos says, I heard a news reporter say earlier that our military is not sure why they even going over there. Well, on the real, a lot of soldiers, a lot of military personnel is kind of like, yo, they not fucking with this. They don't want to fight. We got a new situation going on here. We in foreign waters, literally and figuratively right now. We are not in recognizable territory right now. You say I'm an atheist? Yo, eat a dick. Fuck you. Nobody no fucking atheist. You a fucking atheist. Man wrote the Bible. Now. Man wrote the Bible, not God. And if you can prove to me that God wrote the Bible, then show me his handwriting. Show me the original script. And tell me how come so many books of the Bible are missing. And how do we have a King James version of the Bible? Do you know who King James was? He wasn't a prophet. He wasn't a disciple. He wasn't a saint. And how is that version the version that so many people use today with all those European names in it? Hmm? You said I am a dumbass? Like I said, fuck you. Fuck you. I can tell you're a believer. Listen to what you say. A believer in what? I thought you said I was an atheist. How can you be an atheist and a believer at the same time? Enlighten me, sir. Gary. Enlighten me, Gary. Because now I'm confused. I'm confused, Gary. Says you're certainly not a Christian by the way you talk. No, I'm not a Christian. I never said I was. I'm not a Christian. Now, do I respect Christianity? Yes. Yes, I do. So you just made my day. I'm cracking up. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers come on in. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. Listen, knowledge doesn't care what religion you follow. So I can tell you some things about the Bible. I read the Bible. I asked you if you were an atheist. Can't you read? I am not an atheist. However, I respect atheism too. All right. Shout out to Muhammad Ali. I ain't fighting fighting no people that didn't do nothing to me, and my people in America get discriminated and lose their lives for being black. Huh, that's true. All right. Spartacus, my peoples. Says, thanks for speaking the truth, Omar. You always have great political takes. I know this ain't a political channel, but I always appreciate your takes. Keep cooking, man. I try. I try. Gary, you say I have a very foul mouth. Well, I am an adult. I mean, I'll tell you what, it doesn't say in the Bible that you can't curse. It doesn't say that, Gary. Ask me how I know. Go ahead. Ask me how I know. Most of the curse words aren't even so-called curse words. They're not swear words. Like fuck and shit. Those aren't swear words. They're bad words. We can take it back to when we were juveniles. Ooh, son said bad words. Tell you what, I'll own up to the bad words that I said. Deal? You said you just assumed and went off on a... It's tirade, not tyrant. Now, so I can read, see? I went off on a tirade, not tyrant. Come to Jesus, sir. I'll pray for you. All right. All right. You know what? I'll accept that. And I have had a come to Jesus moment or two. Recently, I had a come to Jesus moment. Come to Jesus moment. We should do a show called a Come to Jesus moment. Thanks, Gary. You're okay. So even your mom told you when you were a kid not to swear like that. I don't swear around my mom. I don't curse around her either. I don't cuss around her either. I don't swear, cuss, or curse around my mom. And she just turned 85. Oh, gosh. You're going to pray for me? All right, as long as you pray for me. But just shut up. Pray for me and shut up. Tell you what, you can even pray for me to shut up. But not until around 2:30, 3 o'clock-ish. Anyway, this war. Why is this war so unpopular? Why do y'all think that this war is so unpopular? Why? What is it? What are the ingredients in this war from a personal level? What would you say on a personal level makes this war so unpopular? Well, let's go over it. We can go over some of the things that I asked in the poll question. How does it sit with y'all that we entered this war because of Israel? Like, you know, the bait and switch of this whole situation. Trump telling us that Iran started this war because they were going to attack the United States. What do you even mean by that? What do you even mean by they were going to attack the United States? You mean they were going to attack Israel? Because who the fuck cares? Those genocidal motherfuckers, yo. You know, Gary, you don't you think Israel should be sacrificed for all of the evil that they are participating in, all of the death and destruction, the genocide, the baby killing, the oppression? Shouldn't God, you know, now I recognize that God does not use death as a punishment because we all have to die ultimately. But shouldn't they get fucked up? Israel, bad Israel, bad. That was the last time they did anything decent. Funk Flat, wait a minute, Funka Flat says the orange is a liar. He sure ain't the truth. And She Is Wise says U.S. funds Israel $4 billion a year and $18 billion in military. Israel and U.S. is a Gog and Magog. I think that Netanyahu, Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu, no. I think that he has something on Trump. I think that Putin has something on Trump. I think that anybody who Trump doesn't speak bad on, for some reason, I suspect that there's foul play. Like either they know something about him that he does not want revealed, or because look, no matter what, you cannot make him say anything bad about Vladimir Putin. Nothing. And Vladimir Putin does not play Trump's game. But I think Bibi has something on Trump. Like, listen, you better help me out with this Iran thing. Or else. Could it be the Epstein files? Because Trump is... Have y'all ever seen in history somebody try to cover up something so actively to the point where you get others to be accomplices in your cover up so loyally? Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting to talk, but I don't know how much she knows. But that Kristi Noem, I got a feeling they shouldn't have fucked with her. In both ways. Now, I don't respect the chick, and I don't think she's a decent person. But I think that she may know a little something. He might have fucked up demoting her. He might have. And that may be the reason he didn't outright fire her. But that may be for a lot of people the crux of why they don't like this war. We know that it's really Israel's war. G-Funk Flat. I think she may flip. How far? I don't know. Because these cats still want to be in politics. So I don't think they want to lose. They definitely don't want to come over to the Democratic side, and I don't want them. And I don't think that they feel like they will be secure with the Republican Party should MAGA dissipate or go down totally, and then they have to revisit the original GOP. You know, the original GOP that wanted small government, that went by the Constitution. You know, Second Amendment, First Amendment. Spartacus says she will definitely drop a book, but it will be after Trump's out of office. Double tap your phone screen. Thanks, Spartacus. I appreciate that. He said, no one ever switches over to the left, bro. It's a one-way bridge. That's not true. There have been people on the left that switched over to the right, and people from the right that switched over to the left. Like, remember, what was it? Omarosa? Omarosa, remember, after Trump kicked her ass out, after he kicked her black ass out of the White House, like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. You must be kidding. You silly bitch, get the fuck out, Omarosa. Don't fuck with no black women. You know how I feel about black women? The fuck? Omarosa, out, out, out. Ugh. And she came, and then she was on MSNBC and all of that, and they was all looking for her to tell all about Trump and shit. I was like, how disgusting. Chief Flunk said, like Liz Cheney. Well, no, Liz Cheney didn't actually switch to the left. She was helping out, but she ain't built for that. I mean, I'll give it to Liz Cheney. You know what? And honestly, I think that's a big part of where Kamala fucked up. She shouldn't have fucked with Liz Cheney. She was so busy trying to show everybody that, look, I'm reaching across the aisle and all. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. Motherfuckers want loyalty. Otherwise, I felt like she ran a decent campaign. But didn't nobody want Liz Cheney? Didn't nobody want you to be cool with no Liz Cheney? Didn't nobody want Liz Cheney over here? We knew that she had a problem with Trump, but no. And Dick Cheney too? No. Tom says Nicki Minaj is the new Omarosa. Yeah, but Nicki Minaj don't know shit. She's just a pawn. Omarosa was actually around Trump. She sucked the dick. She smelled the balls. She fondled. Nicki don't know shit. She's just a dumb Trinidadian trying to stay in the country. That's all. Yo, can you take my husband and my my brother off the sex offenders list? We heard that this is the party that lets sex offenders go. And can I stay in the United States? They talk about deporting me. No one ever switches over to the left, bro. It's a one-way bridge. You said you skipped my topic of discussion. What do you mean your topic of discussion? What do you mean by that? Wait, what do you mean? What does that mean? Tom says Nicki Minaj is trying to get her husband, who's a blood gang member, of a pardon. Ain't that some shit? New voter registration in California. Man, we fuck around and not have no midterms. If Trump gets his way, it won't be no midterms. We ain't gonna be voting for shit. Voting is going to be something we used to do. I mean, like this administration knows that its policies are so unpopular that they don't have a record to run on, y'all. Regardless of whether you like Trump or not, he doesn't have a record to run on. Even his immigration policies it hasn't gone the way he thought it was going to go. The new voter registration in California saw 4,800 new Republicans and 120 new Democrats. But fact check me. How about so? It's not like California has never voted Republican before. You remember Ronald Reagan, Arnold Schwarzenegger? They weren't Democrats. And both of them won second terms. So what are we talking about? Oh, 48,000? Okay. It's going red? Okay. Okay. You're right. It's going red. California's going red. You're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. California's going red. And Texas is going blue. Right? We'll see. We'll see. Right now, the right they don't have a record to stand on. They're underwater even with immigration. Them killing Americans didn't help their cause. Now we don't give a fuck who gets deported or what the border is looking like. Fuck that border. You killing Americans. What's the fastest way to detract from your positive record on immigration? Kill Americans during your immigration policies. Rest in peace, Renee Good. Rest in peace, Alex Preddy. Don't nobody give a fuck about immigration after Americans got killed. Now, maybe if some immigrants got killed, but that's not how it went. CC, what's good? What's good? Tom says, son, don't forget the brother that's in North Korea with nuclear weapons, and don't ever think that he's going to stay quiet forever. Oh, Trump said that's his boy. He hasn't brought him up in a long time. Kim Jong-un is in the world. He ain't in the house. He's in the world. My brother Kim Jong-un. Spartacus says there's absolutely nothing conservative or Republican about Trump. Not at all. Not at all. There's a big difference between Republicans and MAGA. But MAGA is fucked up. And there's a civil war going on with the Republican side. They're all over the place. Look, Tucker Carlson. Trump has lost Tucker Carlson. And Nick Fuentes Nick Fuentes said straight up, do not vote in this next election. And if you do, vote Democrat. That's what Nick Fuentes said. Nick Fuentes, self-proclaimed racist and white supremacist with a last name like Fuentes. What are you, Spanish from Spain? But these cats are the voices of the youth. They are next. Yo, did you hear when Nick Fuentes said that shit? He said, do not vote hold on. Let me pull it up. He said, do not vote in the next election. And if you do, vote Democrat. That's what they think of Trump. These were hardliners. Remember, Nick Fuentes was at the Trump rally in Madison Square Garden. Remember, he was offending all of the Latinos and shit. He was going in on them. He said there's a big pile of trash out in the Caribbean called Puerto Rico. Remember that shit? All right, let me find it. Nick Fuentes telling voters not to vote in the next election or to vote Democratic. All right. I'm looking for the video. Let me see if I can find a video. Because they got it. Wait a minute.
Now we're in a regime change war with Iran. That's the breaking point. I'm out. I'm done. I am off the Trump train. I am not voting in 26. If Rubio or Vance are on the ticket in any form in 28, I'm voting for a Democrat.
Grain of salt with anything Nick Fuentes says. And he's a professional shit stirrer, and he does a good job of it and has made himself a lot of money on his brand of rates were.
Nah, fuck that. Get back.
But you should be able to. Right. Now we're in a regime change war with Iran. That's the.
Fuck. Fudge. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Now we're in a regime change war with Iran. That's the breaking point. I'm out. I'm done. I am off the Trump train. I am not voting in 26. If Rubio or Vance are on the ticket in any form in 28, I'm voting for a Democrat.
Grain of salt with anything.
And that's not even. That's not even. And that's not even the video I was talking about. So evidently he's said this multiple times. All right, man. I'm gonna have to YouTube it. Nick Fuentes telling voters to vote Democratic.
Nick Fuentes telling voters to vote Democratic.
This has to be the breaking point. This is the breaking point for the GOP coalition. You buried the Epstein files. There is no border wall. You didn't deliver on mass deportations. You cut corporate tax rates for the rich by cutting Medicaid again. No infrastructure bill, no middle class tax cuts. You got to refund the tariffs. And now we're in a regime change war with Iran. That's the breaking point. I'm out. I'm done. I am off the Trump train. I am not voting in 26. If Rubio or Vance are on the ticket in any form in 28, I'm voting for a Democrat. This has to be the breaking point. This is the breaking point for the GOP coalition. You buried the Epstein files. There is no.
Well, that was interesting. If any of y'all know who Nick Fuentes is, you know he don't fucking play. He don't fucking play. Yo, I ain't never heard. Yo. Now, if you want to say that there are no cracks in the right, no cracks in the GOP, no cracks in MAGA, these were the Trumpers. These were the 45, 47. These were, but as you can see, it's not only Democrats that care about that cuts to Medicaid, health care, and the Epstein files. They have you believing that the GOP don't care about none of that shit. Nick, and he has, you know, if you know Nick Fuentes, you know he has millions and millions of young followers. He's fiery as hell. I don't like nothing he does or says. But he serves as an example. You cannot deny the chinks in the armor and the separation of what's going on with the GOP when you listen to that. And you know, I'm glad, But this is a very unpopular war, man. Like I said, I think that this war is more unpopular than any war that we've ever seen. Way more than I said that it was more unpopular than Vietnam, but I think it's more unpopular than any war that we can prove. Mainly because it's in modern times and we have the internet, so we can see what the thoughts about this war is with people all around the world in every country. We weren't able to do that with any other war. And so we don't know how far. We also weren't able to reach as many places when we had wars before the modern airplane era. So here we are. But I think everybody has their own reasons for hating this war. It could be because nobody wants to fight for or with Israel. It could be because we were lied to about how the war started. How do you attack a country saying that they were going to attack you first with no proof that they were going to attack you first, and then still say that they started the war, but we're going to finish it? And, I didn't get into this whole thing. I don't mean to jump around a whole lot about this shit, but, with them lying about what's going on with this war time and time again, this shit is concerning. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as a lot of people are concerned, Trump does nothing but lie. At some point, I don't care how much of a Trump supporter you are, you have, just like that there are going to be times when your mom or your dad lies, or your children or your spouse lies, or the people who are closest to you, that they don't tell the truth all the time. And you have to deal with the times when they're not being honest. And you have to accept the fact that sometimes they may drag you down with the shit that they've lied about because you may be willing to defend them. And then when you find out that they lied and you put your reputation or your health or your maybe even your finances in jeopardy or in danger, you would deal with that situation for what it really is. So how is it that you can listen to Donald Trump obviously lie about situation after situation and you keep defending him as if it's not going to affect you in any kind of way? Just like Biden's policies with the economy affected us, how can you be in denial that Trump's policies with the tariffs, with saying that he was going to fix the economy on day one? How can you deny that when you go to buy food, it costs more than it used to, even more than it did with Biden? How can you deny that when you go out to a restaurant or any type of recreational activity, it costs more than it used to, even more than when Biden was in office? How can you deny that when you go to the gas pump? Remember, this was supposed to be Donald Trump claim to fame. Oh, when I was president, gas was under $3. It was under $2 a gallon. But when you research it, you see that it wasn't. Absolutely not nationally. But then now that he's attacked Iran and Iran is not surrendering, as Donald Trump continues to say that Iran is already surrendered, but he wants full surrender. He wants them to say uncle. And Iran is reported to say, we're not surrendering no matter what. There are 90 million people that live in Iran. That's not a small country. And they may not have the military might that the United States has. But the United States has lost situations where they had the might. Vietnam, we definitely had more military might than Vietnam had. How did that work out? Sometimes heart and passion and soul and determination wins. How do you think that the small militia group that was with Fidel Castro in Cuba was able to overthrow Batista, even though Batista had the United States backing. How did that happen? Because they refused to quit and they refused to fail to strategize. And they won. And Castro was in power how long? It's not always the one that should win that wins. Didn't the New York Giants prove that twice by beating the Patriots? It be like that sometimes, yo. It bees like that. You know what? That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It really wasn't. I didn't even put no sugar in it. That wasn't that bad. Just water and turmeric and chlorella and echinacea. Wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good. To most of y'all might throw it up. But to me, it's like medicine, baby. So, yeah, it's not always the one that has all of the money and all of the weapons and all of the missiles and all of the troops that wins. Sometimes it's the ones that know how to strategize. And Iran doesn't seem to be a slouch when it comes to strategy. Yeah, we're bombing the shit out of them, but they're also doing things strategically, like attacking, committing drone strikes on air bases where in the Middle East that are allowing American planes to land and to fly from. They said, So that makes this war interesting, and it gives you the notion and the guarantee that this ain't going to be over as fast as some people may have you believe. We might be a while here. This may take a moment. And this ain't what you want. It certainly isn't what you asked for, more than likely. But this is what you're going to get. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Please, please hit the like button. Please, 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 please. But yeah, this is the situation that we have to deal with. And quite honestly, this isn't the situation that any of us really wanted to deal with, but we're going to have to stare it in the face. And we're here. If you live in the United States, you are affected by the fact that we are at war. And even if you don't live in the United States, you are affected by the fact that the United States and Israel, or should I say Israel and the United States, are at war. And it has far-reaching consequences and effects on other countries around the world. With the price of that oil going up like that, man, I was like, damn, I need to fill my shit up right now while I can afford it the most. Because this is about to get nasty, man. These oil prices up. I mean, these gas prices about to get stupid. And who asked for that? Remember, Trump was supposed to bring down the cost of energy. Remember? I remember when I mean, I know this man is nothing but bullshit. But for those who follow him, for those who believe in him, well, I guess you're having a come to Jesus moment or two. But if the leaders in the GOP can see this shit, how is it that the townspeople can't see it? These people are directly profiting off of Trump and the Trump administration. Your black ass or your white ass or your Latino ass or your Asian ass, y'all ain't getting no money off of this shit. So what do you think their motivation for jumping ship is? Like, what do you think is going on? What's holding you steady? What do y'all think about the United States allegedly bombing or sending missile strikes on that school in Iran that killed 150 Iranian children? What do y'all think of that? I mean, if you can somehow rationalize that, then you are Israel. I mean, you have to be Israel if you can rationalize that. You know? Like, first of all, that's a war crime. You're not supposed to be attacking citizens. There's no reason for that, and there's no place for that. Now, that happens in war all the time. It gets covered up. It gets explained. It gets whitewashed. It gets swept under the rug. Well, that's why us living in the times of the internet and mass media, it has really done a job on secrets, governmental secrets. You just can't keep the same kind of secrets in the same kind of ways that you were able to do before. What's that noise? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Captain Indiana is in the house.
Hi, Captain Indiana. I don't think I like that at all.
What's up, Capitan? Capitan Indiana is in the house. The real Indiana. I'm talking about Indians.
Maybe this is that town. It's not no Indiana. Indiana's them other people. This is that town.
What's it called?
What's up, son? What's up, chat? What's up, family? And other people. I didn't hear the whole thing. I just heard this little bit when you just said something about children. And I have to ask your opinion because, you know, that orange waste of oxygen declares that the U.S. wasn't responsible for the loss of 100+ children.
Right. And what did Pete Hegseth say?
He said no, it wasn't.
No, he didn't deny it. He said we're investigating. He did not say no.
You're right. He did say they're investigating, but the orange oxygen waste said no, it was not the U.S. It was them other people. We didn't do it. Blah, 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 blah. Now, I can't say who did what. However, from what I hear in the world from other people who are military associated people, they say per the video that it was the U.S. Now, I haven't seen the video because I can't take that. There's a lot of it I haven't watched because I can't take that. I don't think my eyes were designed to watch those kind of things. Those windows into this soul cannot accept that and be okay. I have enough things that prevent me from just functioning sometimes, and I can't look at those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, in your opinion, did the U.S. do it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know they did it because just like when they were interviewing Pete Hegseth, and the interviewer asked him if you could, well, what he asked him was if you could definitively say that the United States wasn't involved, you would do that, right? And he said, yeah, we're conducting it, and it's under investigation. Like, he knows. Like, how do you say, yeah, I know we did it, without saying, yeah, I know we did it? Because, he would have been pumping his chest and screaming to the hilltops that he didn't do it, especially with all the fuck ups that he's committed since he's been in his position. You know what I mean? With the chat.
Taking a bump on the camera, taking a bump live on camera.
The shit with the live chat where they invited the reporter, the reporter from the Atlantic.
Well, he did it once, twice, 3 times.
Mm-hmm. He is Mr. Leak. So yeah, he would jump at the chance to finally be able to say that he did something right. He didn't cop out to that.
He's a loser.
Yeah, well.
I had to really ask for forgiveness yesterday, because I had to really sit in myself and gather my entire internal thoughts, because they had this man's granddaughter showing how much money she's wasting gleefully with the Secret Service at the most expensive grocery store on the planet. And she just was like, hey, I'm out buying candy and a purse. And it just was a lot of nonsense. And in that moment, the ugly inside me started thinking things. And then I had to gather myself and ask for forgiveness. So don't wish death on anyone. At least I try not to. But my thoughts went ugly real fast. Because there are children who have been killed for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And she's out having a ball. And then when I saw that Mike Johnson shut down Congress so they can go and cool at this man's resort in Miami, I had more. And I said, okay, let me sit down and get all this together, because God, I don't ever want to be the person who nothing. Because I really don't wish death on anyone. But man, I would not waste it to put a fire out if these people are burning. So, I don't know. This is not a good place. I'm worried about this potential of a draft. I've been saying this for over a year. And I'm concerned because I have nieces and nephews and young cousins who I never want to go to be a part of another lie or mishap from this country. So I have to be mindful of my thoughts, because I know that energy can always come back in the form of karma. Yeah. But it's hard not to feel like that. It's hard not to think like that. It's hard. It's very difficult to remain with sane thoughts.
Sane thoughts?
In this today. Yesterday I was good, but today, no. And this today, it's very hard to keep sane thoughts. So I have to now ask for forgiveness on a regular basis, that I don't like to do because I don't like feeling like that. It's hard. Man, it's hard not to. That's it. That's all.
Well, I don't know. I think that people should get what's coming to them. So he should get what's coming to him. There is enough evil in all of this to spread around.
True.
There's enough. Like somebody in the chat said, was talking about the Iranians, the 40,000 Iranians that were killed before we attacked them. And I'm like, what? But Trump didn't give a fuck about that. And he still don't.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that wasn't the reason that he gave.
That in his campaign. That wasn't part of his campaign. Nothing to do with Cuba, nothing to do with Venezuela, nothing to do with Nigeria, nothing to do with Burkina Faso, nothing to do with Africa, nothing to do with any of that had anything to do with his campaign promises. I give zero fucks what them people did. And it doesn't mean I don't have a care about life. It just means I live in the United States. So right now I need to clean up my house first before I can go dust anyone else's home. In my house, my bills are high. In my house, the cost of gas is ridiculous. In my house, we struggle to pay utilities. In my house. So I can't go over in their house. I'm going to pray for them and I'm going to wish the best for them. And if I got it on me, I'm going to do whatever I can do to send to any agency that's legit, that's going to help. But the campaign promise wasn't for what's going on over there. The campaign promise wasn't about greed over there. The campaign promise was about what's going on in the United States. I hear this bastard tell them people, yo, you protesters, you keep protesting, but you killed the protesters here in your house, in your backyard. Well, you tell them people, I need to decide who your president is, but you're not being the president over here. See, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. That would be like if my house needs to be clean right now. But if I came to your house and said, hey, Omar, go move all this shit. Let's get this broom. Let's get this pine saw. Come and get some fabuloso. Let's do all this stuff here. My house is dirty. What kind of fool does that make me? That wasn't part of the campaign promise. Now, he didn't promise shit to me. For real, he didn't. Because everything he promised was bullshit, as he always does. But I want him to be at least about his words. Your word is this. For all these people who are sitting here listening to his words, and you continue to suck his dick, fuck you too. Because for real, common sense should tell you that your sense is not common. Because if you look at your gas prices, your grocery prices, the cost of your utilities, the cost just to buy some fucking panties and drawers and socks, the cost of your kids, the cost of formula, that cost is high here right now today. I don't give a fuck about Biden. I don't give a fuck about Obama, Bush, the Clintons, none. I'm talking about right now today. 2026, when this bastard is the president. That's the shit that counts right now. Not anything going on any other part of the world. While he's talking about Lindsey Graham, sissy ass, is talking about we're going to go and take care of every country. Bitch, take care of this country. Take care of people who live here. The people here are hungry and homeless. The kids here are uneducated because you got an idiot over the Department of Education. Let me stop.
Okay.
Because I need to get some sleep. And I'm getting angry and frustrated. And these people frustrate me on a regular basis.
So do you think that this war is more unpopular than Vietnam?
Absolutely.
Do you think that this may be the most unpopular war ever?
Absolutely. Because it's the most unpopular president.
Okay. Well, we can't know for sure, but I know that this is a very unpopular war. And I know that this is not going to end the way a lot of people are hoping it's going to end. You're not going to be able to sweep this one under the rug. There's a good reason why all of these countries hesitated to bomb or attack Iran all of these years. There's a good reason for it. It wasn't just because they look mean. It's because they have the resources to defend themselves.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that. And that's what they're doing. But, you know, when they had people showing videos of Iranians abroad and domestic dancing in the streets because of Ayatollah Khomeini being killed and other people in the regime, I said, you just watch. Because they did the same shit with Saddam Hussein.
Gaddafi and Saddam.
Uh-huh. How'd that turn out?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, nobody wants the United States controlling their destiny. And I don't see why.
This trash country is eating of itself. And they have the son of everybody's proud forefathers to do it for them.
Mm.
He is going to be the destructor.
Well,
get what you ask for. The song said you can't always get what you want. But the other song said you ask for it, you got it, Toyota. Now you ask for it, you got it. Everybody who complained, everybody who, oh, fuck Kamala, this black bitch, this, all them people who said all that stuff, all them people said she's lying. He's the great hope. He's the great orange hope for this country. He's going to get me out of debt. My bills are going to go down. I'm going to live a good life. I'm going to have a good earning. Look at how many people are unemployed right now. Look at how many people are struggling right now. And then they're doing stuff to make homelessness illegal. But everybody here be homeless. Fuck these people.
Mm.
And if it's you out there, you still on this, because hey, maybe you fell away in the beginning. Okay, but your lesson is learned now. If you are still following behind him, something is seriously wrong with you, deep in your heart. And that means you are the son and daughter of this country too. You are the bastard child of the bastards who created this negative space. And fuck you hard. And your mammy too.
All right.
I don't want no qualms about it, and I won't apologize for it. That's what I stand on.
All right, cool. But yeah, I think that this is an unpopular war for a lot of different reasons. You know, like I really felt it when that I ain't do that shit. She hung up. I ain't touch nothing. I ain't do nothing. I really felt it when that senator, you know, said nobody wants to go to war for Israel. I felt that. You know, there aren't too many times I watch, you know, politics or I watch political news or even a speech where something is said that I feel in my heart and in my soul. I felt that. When he said nobody wants to go to war for Israel. Nobody wants to fight a war for Israel. I felt that shit like. No truer words have ever been spoken. That really summed up how most people feel about this war. Like, nobody want to fight for them. The motherfuckers, we run around here screaming free Palestine. People around the world has finally accepted that Israel is the problem. They are not innocent in any kind of way. All of the negative stereotypes you have held on or fought against for years and centuries somehow became true. Like, y'all were able to sweep that shit under the rug for decades, lifetimes, generations. Now you can't anymore. Now you can't. Y'all have shown your true colors. And y'all want to be, Israel wants to be the stranglehold in the Middle East. All right, well, this is what, all right, you are controlling a lot of things in the Middle East right now, especially the narrative. The propaganda campaign is off the chain. But now you have to deal with the consequences of the truth of people waking up and realizing that, hey, you're the problem. It can't be somebody else all the time. And that's what we're learning about Israel. It can't be somebody else's fault all the time. At some point, you have to own up to the shit that you're doing. But somehow he convinced Trump to let the ruse and the lies and the charade, the cloak of innocence of Israel. He found a way to have Trump still foster that narrative and drag you into this war. Possibly there's a different reason that we're in this war right now than what we know and what we can see. Possibly there's another reason why we are engulfed in this situation. Possibly there's a different motivation for why we're here. And if you know it, I'd be interested in hearing it. Because I don't know. I have some theories. I have some thoughts. I have some suspicions. I have some intuitions. I don't have proof. But you know, when somebody is insisting on getting something done, we can always assume that it's for this reason or that reason. But sometimes it's for a different reason that still wields the same results. Please hit the like button, y'all. We're about to get on up out of here. We are. We're about to get on up out of here. But yeah, this is an unpopular war. Before I start doing anything more, I would like to ask y'all if you can predict how much longer you think this war is going to last. I'd be interested in hearing that in the comments. How much longer do you think that this war will go on? Will it be another week, another month? Will it be 6 months, 90 days? You know, how much longer do you think that this war will last? Will it be years? Will we see another decade like Iraq and Afghanistan? What do you think? If you had to guess how many jelly beans are inside the jar, how many would you guess? How many would you guess? That's all I'm asking. Please put in the comments how much more time that you think that this war will continue. How much longer? How much longer? All right. So, yeah, these are some times we're living in, y'all. This shit is much. It is. All right. Poll question. The poll question is, what would you attribute to this being such a widely unpopular war? Sorry about the typo in the question. All right, 41% said we were lied to about how it started. I couldn't write the whole word started because they only allow 35 characters, and I couldn't figure out a way to say what I needed to say and still make it fit. All right. 32% says because it's really Israel's war. 12% said 150 children being killed and it's a war crime. And 15% says Trump said no new foreign wars. This is out of 34 votes. I want to thank everybody for participating in the poll. I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate. Let's go ahead and do these birthday shout outs, and then I'm going to let you good people get on your way. And I'm going to go get some sleep and get stronger for tomorrow. And I mean that in every possible way. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious March 9th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Shit. Maybe I should get to the page. Number one out the box, Terry Brown Heimbaugh, and also Crystal Green, Nikki Kegler, Arshella V. Parham, Yalisa Cruz, my man Vaughn Bird, Selena Balmer, Alicia Harris, and last but not least, my man go-getter Kevin G. Dukes Sr. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious March 9th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, Unpopular war, yo, it's the score, and the death tolls, and out of control. And I feel bad for people that got hurt, but sometimes my feelings are just as worth as the pain that's being felt by the bloodshed, and it's messing with a lot of people's heads. And I don't like to see the dead, but I understand when it's coming from the side that's red. Now, whether it's red or blue doesn't matter to you or me sometimes if we think rationally, but that's not the way that we are giving it up. Yo, I wish we had times of living it up, but it's not going to be no peace. And why this orange is motherfuckers is the belly of the beast. And he's setting the tone for how we look at our home. And I'm ready to hide under the bed and just zone out and send my mind back to a better time when I was more inclined to just pull out my shines and show how much dough I had. And I missed the times when I was building with my dad. But I know that we have to move on and grow up. But I don't think that the control is sewing up. And I'm showing up right to the polls. And I think it's going to be all right. What right now it's on hold like a stranglehold. And I feel like I'm choking. This shit is real. It ain't no joking. It ain't nobody laughing. I feel like I'm in the bathhouse. Yo, with other niggas assed out. And I think that we got to do something. And whether it's just a little help, Our health is in jeopardy, and I say step to thee, Lou. What the fuck you think you're talking to? Ain't nobody dumb out here. We got eyes and ears, and I make sure that I cut my hair and brush my beard. Actually, I never brush that shit. It just falls in place. Guess that's how the hair on my face just was tuned to be in. Yo, everybody, please stay safe and make sure that no sins and that you have control over start taking over you. It's going to be all right. Chill, boo. So, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 1 a.m. in the morning. And tomorrow night, we will be talking about something a lot more positive. You know what I'm saying? A lot more positive. It would kill me to have to talk about politics every day. For those who do that, I know y'all get money and all of that shit, but I have to commend y'all because this shit is draining to me, having to talk about this shit time and time again, because I don't really feel like it moves the needle. What you wind up doing is only talking to people who agree with you. You're not changing anything about the people who don't. It almost seems like it's just a hopeless and worthless exercise in futility. But hey, you gotta try. We gotta try, baby. Please hit the like button before y'all get on up out of here. And I hope y'all enjoyed the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it, because I really do enjoy doing this. So once again, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all and love y'all right back to life. So I'll get back with y'all. Hit the like button though. Peace. Love is love, baby.